Hey fam, this week opened really wild because Citrini Research sent their analyst number 3 to Strait of Hormuz to get on-ground details. And this is when all the tension of war is going on. Nobody is allowed near the Strait of Hormuz to see the oil ships. And he takes videos of oil ship being attacked by the war real time and sent it over. And also DPRK has reached sophistication levels of Mossad. You may wonder how. That's what we are covering this week in the podcast and other news which happened in Web3. Welcome back to Block Talk.
I will fire Gary.
The first news segment that we have today is Drift Protocol has lost $280 million after attackers exploited a compromised multi-sig and pre-signed transaction. So there is no smart contract bug has also involved in this process. So what actually went wrong here?
So this was a sophisticated 6-month-long operation by the hacker team, which was so interesting to listen. Like, the main team behind this is North Korea, as usual, with their team. And what they did is they had a team who posed as a legitimate quant trading firm, and they had a working relationship with the Drift team over 6 months period, and they met with the team in multiple crypto conferences around the world. They said that they are interested to work on their on-chain protocol. They invested their own $1 million of their fund to trade over the platform. And in all this meanwhile, they somehow slipped a malicious test flight app. Test flight is in the sense, Apple has a beta version kind of thing called test flight where you can test apps before the launch. So somehow they made sure one of their contributors installed that app. And after they got hacked, they did not even know they were compromised on one fine day. Though the hacker team launched durable nonce accounts in their names itself. Durable nonce in the sense, those transactions don't expire within a stipulated time period. They last forever until and unless you cancel it or you sign it. So they prepared this, and Drift has a multi-sig of 2 out of 5. Means there are 5 wallets controlling the account, out of which even if 2 wallets sign, the transaction is succeeds. So they got the team to sign the malicious transactions where they gave control to the hacker team and they got all the funds. So this was like not even a cyber attack. This was a social engineering, and they lured the team inside by posing.
They took more efforts, more like a lover boy to have a relationship with the girl. This efforts they have followed them for a long time, then a boy following a girl to make their thing happen.
So was this just a smart contract bug or anything?
No, as we saw, this was a social engineering attack, and there was nothing smart contract issue over this.
So people are blaming Solana. So what do you think about that? Is that fair?
We can't blame Solana or Ethereum or any chain in general because the smart contracts and the code worked as it needed to be. They designed their contracts in such a way that 2 signatures are enough for control over the whole app. Then it falls on team's fault, and it's on the team, not on the chain itself.
Okay. So particularly they have mentioned about the circle. So what is the circle's role?
Okay. And here people were furious on Circle, who is the issuer of USDC stablecoin, that Circle always blacklists legitimate crypto businesses once in a while. But when it was the need of the hour, because hackers were actually using Circle's own product called CCTP to transfer from Solana to Ethereum. But Circle did not do anything when the time was needed. By the time Circle started to block the accounts, the funds were already moved to Ethereum. If Circle responded faster, they could have blocked the funds in the bridge itself. So people are furious that the company bans legitimate users but does not act on hackers.
So they are saying that the protocol's admin key has drained all of the funds. So is it really a decentralized finance or?
So this was another broader discussion because Drift had a framework where those admins can control anything in the app. They can create new collateral, new trading pair, they can block deposits, open up deposits. So it was like the app is on Solana, but the control is within one person. So they were like, if this framework was not there, they could have prevented the hack. If it was really a decentralized finance like Uniswap, there would have been no hack because there was no single entity.
Right.
In Uniswap and everything, governance, like people vote if they want something to happen. But here Drift had a center point of failure. So this brought back the discussion that this is not DeFi, this is like fake DeFi.
Yeah.
It works
Like
as
centralized finance, CFI.
Yeah.
Okay. The second news that we have is Google research suggests Bitcoin encryption could be broken with a fewer quantum resource than expected. So setting a 2029 timeline for upgrades. So what exactly is Google approaching to say?
Okay. So recently Google's quantum research group released a paper which showed that now with just 500k physical qubits, you can crack any crypto wallet. And they did not even release the whole paper. Like they just posted a ZK proof. They are afraid that even releasing this paper would get the information into wrong hands. And Google has updated their timeline to 2029. Like they are saying, if crypto companies and protocols want to upgrade, they should do within 2029. Because within that time, they are expecting that systems capable of breaking cryptography will arrive soon. And
When they talked about like quantum computers, they told us it will be risky for cryptocurrency wallets. So we thought it will take a lot of time.
Yeah.
But now after Google's warning, I think the time is coming little sooner. Like
Yes.
2029 is not that much longer, right? It's very like. Also, I'll hear that to make the changes, like to make the security tighter, we have like all the wallet holders has to make steps. So it will take time. They have to just find a proper security. Then they have to alert all the users to upgrade the wallets.
yes.
So it's like sooner than we think.
Yeah. So you're saying that users should be panicking right now because the deadline is very near, right? So
there is some nuanced take in this. Like users should not panic because this is a solvable engineering problem.
Right.
But as Jeno said, all the users should take step. So if a protocol is new, users are active, they will do it. But let's say for Bitcoin, for example, there are so many old whale wallets which is inactive.
Like Satoshi's.
Yes. And you can't make Satoshi come back and update his wallet. So what would happen to those coins? So that's the major question. And for that level of upgrades, Bitcoin core itself should change. And I think they are thinking mitigation steps towards it. But we have to see. So old wallets are still in risk.
So who actually has this capability to change as per the requirement? So what do you think about that?
Okay. So if you take quantum computers, it's not like it's not still available in consumer level markets. It's
Right.
like only Google and big corporations and government entities can only access it. So there is no fear that some thief will start to
Do it.
loot it off. Like government, those guys won't start to loot crypto
Yeah,
coins.
because the wallets are more safer than like even government banks. So if the quantum computers work like stealing our wallets, it's dangerous for the government banks too.
Yes.
So I believe the proper regulations and rules will be taken. Not a normal people can have an access to the quantum computers if it is that dangerous.
Yes, you're right. The final cover-up that we have is the US Clarity Act passed the House, defining SEC versus CFTC roles and how crypto asserts transition from securities to commodities. So what is actually about this Clarity Act law and stuffs?
So before Clarity Act, there was not a clear-cut regulation in US government to say whether a crypto company is a security or a commodity. So securities are like shares, equity, those come under security. Commodities are like oil, gold, silver. Those are commodities. Crypto act as both of them, if you know, because crypto are traded in market as commodities, Bitcoin and Ethereum. And if you take project level tokens, like let's say Polygon, there is Water, there are so many projects, like even Drift had its own token. So those tokens show like a share of the company. So they start to act as equity. Then it comes under securities, right?
Right.
And securities without SEC registration is illegal in US. So there was this fight always happening between SEC and crypto companies before Trump's era, in Biden's era, where Gary Gensler was SEC chairman. So now this act defines clear roles of how CFTC handles digital commodities and SEC handles investment contracts.
So why is it actually taking so long to fabricate these rules?
Okay. So US did not have clear framework at the start itself. So they were waiting for the lawsuits to complete. So there was already cases on crypto companies. So they were waiting how the court proceedings go so that they get more data on how the regulations can be framed out. That's one thing. And in SEC also had multiple court cases before Trump era, which had to be dropped in 2026 for this act to be talked on. So those things took time. And in the meanwhile, Hong Kong, UAE, and European Union, those guys came up with frameworks and attracted those crypto companies to their jurisdictions. US also lost some companies and time in this tussle also.
Okay.
So we also had Genius Act previously, right? So how was it connected with this clarity?
Okay. So in Genius Act, it was an act for stable coins where stablecoin companies required fully backed reserves, no always monthly disclosures, and no direct interest payments. And Clarity Act builds upon this foundation. So Clarity Act can be said as like next upgraded version of Genius Act.
Will the rivalry between banks and the stablecoins continue?
Yeah, of course, because if you see, stablecoins are giving yield
Right.
as interest, and also stablecoins don't lock your funds.
Right.
Stablecoins can be easily moved across a chain. You can use it anywhere, but still get interest out of it. But in banks, you don't get that much freedom. You have to lock in a deposit or some kind of funds to get interest payments. So here, stablecoins have upper hand on banks. So this should keep on continuing.
I think that's like a beautiful upgrade from the traditional finance we are doing.
Yeah.
Right.
And the Clarity Act also makes sure that even if a traditional bank want to adopt stablecoins, it makes them easier to do it.
Right. From a $280 million exploit driven by human decisions to a quantum warning shaping future securities and to regulation that is finally taking form. Crypto is entering a phase where technology, people, and policy must align. Because moving forward, it's not just about innovation, it's about resilience. That's it for today's video. We will catch up on next one. Until then, bye.